high, greatly increased, that even notorious skeptics make up. Think about that global warming and climate change. The real problem of modernity. Not the result of analyzing statistics over the past 50 years. This is an analysis of recent events. Only 1 month. The reason is the unusual movement of air masses over Eastern Europe. Very strong anticyclone, generally anticyclone, with its max closer to the center. So here this formation was so big. Area with low atmospheric pressure, which came from the Atlantic Ocean, fell to the western regions of Germany. It rained for several days in a row, but the duration of showers is not the most serious. Far more amazed by their intensity. This level of rainfall has fallen in these few days, which usually happens into 3 months. This led to floods. That some villages literally washed away. Streams of muddy brown water swiftly swept the narrow streets of cities and washed away everything in its way. Such a wave could easily knock an adult off their feet. And that's far from the limit. Records appeared on which streams of water carry cars and bodies from trucks. Multi-ton metal objects, pulling an irresistible current, are a threat in themselves. The power of those floods is impressive. How do you like the shots on which the current just rips off the foundation and takes away a whole house? The 2-story building didn't even fall apart. It went with the flow, like a huge ship. Of course, colliding with a tree. The house just swept away the multimeter plant with its mass. The power of flow is also spoken of by an impressive episode of When the Water Carried the House on Wheels. Difficult to estimate the speed at such a distance, until you see how does the house face the bridge. The beat just crushes the metal house, as if the one from plasticine. Continuous stream didn't even notice the beat. He carries the house further, and the remnants of the structure just go underwater. But the rains covered not only Germany. Belgium was also affected, Netherlands, Austria, and other countries. Look at the power of flow, which managed to catch in the camera lens in Austria. Water flows so fast that when the wave breaks against the obstacle, then forms a real fountain of sprinkles. That stream isn't moving that fast. It's not like that, of course. Then already space. The stronger the pressure, but the flow rate from this almost does not change. If people get hit by water even on a wide street, where the flow depth does not reach the belt, they just demolish. And if you lose a solid support, such a powerful stream can take anywhere. And to cope with it is almost impossible. Even keeping on its surface is difficult, and to dodge the rushing towards the garbage. The wreckage is almost unreal. But worst of all, danger of hitting a wall or other structure, which resisted stronger. It's the same thing, that hit of a racing car on the feet of a pedestrian. Yes, and turn out to be washed away, buried beneath the wave, also serious threats. Filming from Belgium, the scale of not only with what force water flow hits cities, but also what happens after that. The water isn't going anywhere after all. Drainage systems not capable in a couple days deal with the amount of rainfall, which usually fall out in months, and ordinary cities turn into Venice. Of course, the water level gradually decreases a little. But even when the stream expires, her level in some places does not fall below meters. Look up how a man already in standing water saves a dog in his arms, lifting an animal to the roof of a car. Netherlands state, which has an average altitude above sea level, is one of the smallest not only in Europe, but in the world. Even its name. This kingdom owes this feature. No wonder that habits due to showers did not bypass. And this country. Look, fresh footage from Limburg, one of the Dutch cities, where the element seems still behaved more or less sparing. And all because the cities here are even old, originally built from the possibilities of such habits, but still let the waves that break against the walls of houses. It's rare here. Calmly watch, how does a whole city end up at the bottom of a lake? Not just people stay getting rubber boats and use them instead of taxis. Flooded other cities like Maastricht. Since this documentary footage was taken down, in particular, and witnesses of the disaster, it is clear that only people could do the shooting who are in hiding, and therefore in relative safety. Remains only to guess what happened in the most dangerous cities, where people are not up to filming. If you think that rain is the only thing what can surprise Europeans' weather this summer, then you are wrong. If the center and east of Europe, the planet decided to wash away, then Italy, she just scores machine gun fire from hail. Huge chunks of ice, size, not much less apple fall with tremendous force. Happened it already at the end of July 2021. Surprises gust greta. Its sharp shards can riddle car windshield, made of reinforced triplex. Footage of motorway 1 between the cities of Parma and Piacenza are just shocking. Discouraged people, who in fear hid from the impact of the elements, get out of their cars and inspect the damage with the sight of those who was lucky enough to survive in a real hurricane. Shelling. If hail went as much, how much, and rain in Germany, he would just grind any car, and people would have to be evacuated to an armored car. Around the same time, monstrous downpours flooded London. The elements still did not subside. Of course, British rains are not new, but such showers, even for them, an unpleasant surprise. Now it becomes clear what the person who invented of the famous London double-decker buses clearly was very prudent. Climate change is a very large-scale process, and understand even partially their patterns and subtleties of all processes people are not capable. No matter how strong there are, showers hit not only the old world, at the same time from incredibly heavy rainfall. China suffers 100 km from the epicenter of events in Europe, but showers strike in the sky. Showers began on July 17th and went for several days in a row. For the first 3 days, the amount fell more than 617 millimeters of water. Don't let those numbers mislead yourself. Actually, it's very much, because the annual rate here is only 640 millimeters. That is, in 3 days it rained as much. How much usually falls out in a year? This is not a desert. People living in rural areas were isolated. The city of Jeonju was particularly affected, capital of this province, which the elements turned against. The total number of victims exceeds 144,000 people. People were isolated in homes, without light and communications. Water flows, who embroidered on the streets, demolished everything in their path. Victims are still being counted, and material damage. But one of the loudest episodes is known already now. Already in the first hour after the start of the downpour, city management James Show made the decision, stop all transport smart. Not at all, because in the subway, who also obeyed an emergency stop order, were our people, 1,000 passengers trapped underground, with no light and no way to get out. It looks like real horror. You can only guess what people felt who ended up there. There is no way out. The water has reached the level of the neck or even the chin, and one can only hope that flow will subside. Luckily that happened. Water subsided and subway unlocked, and people were saved. That's just unlikely they can after that calmly go down there, even in the sunniest weather. Climate anomalies also affected America, or rather Alaska. But there we are not talking about showers, although situations are no less dangerous. In late July off the coast of Alaska and the Aleutian Islands, there was a powerful earthquake of magnitude 8, as much as to 10 points. For the last time comparable in strength tremors, recorded in 2018 on the Fiji Islands. But even more surprising is the place of events. In Alaska, tectonic activity happens, but so powerful shocks. Huge rarity. One last time, strong earthquake here was recorded in 1964th year. Epicenter was on the ocean floor, but the city still suffered. The entire west coast of Alaska is threatened by tsunami, and since such waves moving on the surface of the ocean only gain strength and height, there is a threat that a tsunami can go to the south, or even cover the Hawaiian Islands 1,000 kilometers away. What case of climate phenomena? Answer in the comments. Like, subscribe to our channel, and say, what do you want to see future stories about?